Hey y'all, it's me, Angela, aka Returning Thunder. And I know I ain't been on camera a lot, and that's just my personal preference, but I decided to come on camera for this, and I hope that I'm in the shot. But basically, what this is just you getting to know me and what I do and where I feel comfortable at in my craft as far as being a witch or a self-proclaimed witch, however you want to put it. You know, some people say, "Oh, you're not traditional, you're not gardener, you're not bullcrap." You know, it's what you feel in your heart, in your day-to-day basis. Because at the end of the day, those people, hey, you know, not gonna be much in the long run. But basically my thing is for people who are just starting out, beginning in the craft, and excuse me because bought this lovely new couch, but it's uncomfortable as hell. Um, it's about people who are starting off new and trying to find resources and where to go and what they should do and who they should turn to, and with the all ever powerful internet nowadays. That's normally what people go right there to because everything's on the internet. um, but sometimes people are what I call a naturally gifted. It's something that's already in you. Some people can think of something and it just happens, whether it be good or whether it be bad. Some people say, "Oh, you know what? Man, I'm really strapped for cash." All of a sudden, they get a check in the mail, you know, and they just put their thought out into the universe, and the thought reverberates and vibrates and returns it back to them what they need. And I call that being a natural witch. And some people are just natural witches. And then there's those who have to work at the craft a little bit. I believe everybody's technically a natural witch. We're all born into the spiritual universe, whereas the universe is like as the Christians would say, forsake. No, I don't believe the universe does that. It doesn't forsake some and then go with others. The meek shall inherit the earth. No, I think everybody kind of starts off on a level playing field. And those who choose to use their gifts, get them enhanced. It's just like, working in the kitchen. Those who cook more tend to be better cooks. So I do believe we all have the same things, the same energy within us. Nobody's, different, better. It's just how we use that energy, how we manipulate that energy within the universe. So, with saying that, I do get a lot of people asking me, well, why would you want to be a witch, and how did you start that? And I started my spiritual path when I felt that Christianity had too many unanswered questions. And a lot of times when you would, ask questions to those, say in the church or whatnot, and they didn't have an answer for you, the all-knowing phrase would be, trust in God. No, I wasn't feeling that. So I started researching, looking into a path that would prepare me for my future and my family and what I wanted to get out of my life here on this planet and this universe. And it brought me to a more spiritual path, with starting out with Wicca. A lot of people say, "Well, you're black." I'm African American, and everybody knows within the African American community that nobody's. It's unfortunate that we do have that traditional background already embedded in us, but it's unfortunate that we didn't get to, when we came as slaves to the United States, we didn't get to experience that or acknowledge that as far as our hoodoo background, which is one of the oldest spiritual paths in the world. It did transcend over with the islands and the voodoo, and it came over within that aspect. But a lot of times when we first came here as slaves, we were automatically brought into a Christianity mindset, from the slave masters, that this is the ideal religion here, and you have to adapt. There's no more hoodoo voodoo for you. So unfortunately, we didn't get to keep our culture as we would like it. Now that being said, being African American, of course, most African Americans are multicultural in that aspect. As like myself, my great grandfather is Scottish. He was a potato farmer and he had slaves. He slept with slaves. Hence my great grandfather and my dad. Broke it on down. My great grandmother, she was Cherokee Indian. I remember when I was little, she had long, beautiful gray hair, and it's so funny now because she used to chew tobacco. She used to spit it in this nasty coffee can, and she scared me to death. I thought she was a witch. Who knew? Years later, I'm a witch. Hey, but yeah. So it's like I have multiple backgrounds of spirituality that I have chosen to explore as far as my Native American background, my African hoodoo background, and even my Scottish background. But that's for me, that's the path that I choose to go. But I always tell people, never get set in a way that you can't move, or that well, I'll follow this background and only do Celtic magic and Celtic herbs and Celtic this and Celtic that, because that's not broadening your aspect as far as the universe goes. You want to be able to be eclectic and pull from everything that's good, everything that's bad, everything that's beautiful, everything that's sad. Pull from everything around you. And I believe that's what makes this path so amazing, is that you can do that. You can pull from folk magic, earth magic, or you can pull from high magic, Enochian. There's just so much to pull from, that you don't want to get yourself set in such a way, well, this magic is the only magic that I know, and this magic is what I do, and da-da-da-da. You can specialize, yes, by all means. If herbs are your thing and you're good with herbs, I personally I can barely get my plant to grow. That's not me. But if you're good with, say, crystals, then hey, by all means, what works for you, but don't hinder others. And what I say is, unfortunately, I see a lot of people on YouTube who say, oh, well, you can't be a Christian Wiccan. Even though I'm not Christian Wiccan, I'm just me, I'm witch. Or you can't be a Buddhist Wiccan, or you can't be this, or you can't be a Buddhist Hindu, or you can be anything you put in your mind. Period, point blank. There's no such thing as I can't do. Or they told me that I'm not traditional. Or I didn't come from, the Aleister Crowley, Gardner, whatever, Dianic background. No, you can do what feels comfortable for you and your craft, as far as Wicca, as far as being a witch, as far as spirituality. Whatever works for you, do it. I see so many videos, unfortunately, on here just hindering people. Oh, well, you can't be this and you can't be that, and you know what, you have to have a coven, and you can't do this, and you can't be solitary practitioner without, having a, invocation. It's what you feel. If you want to do a self-initiation in your living room, sitting on your couch and lighting a candle and say, hey, I'm a witch today, that's what you do. It has nothing to be special. You don't have to cast a circle. You don't have to call the corners. It's what you feel comfortable in doing, and how you feel comfortable in coming into your craft. Don't let others tell you how to handle your craft. It's yours. Period, point blank. And the more you take ownership of that this is my spirituality, this is my path, the more the universe will flow with you. I guarantee it. Anything I've ever asked the universe for, I've gotten. And yeah, there's been cases where, yeah, be careful what you wish for, because I've gotten that too. But you have to be open. You have to have a heart that's willing to aspire to new levels, to be willing to do new things. People tell me, oh, well, oh, well, are you in a coven? No, I have friends who are in a coven. I chose to be a solitary practitioner. Well, I thought witches were in a coven. No, they don't have to be. You don't have to be. That's not my tradition. It's not something that I wish to follow. You do weather magic? What's weather magic? Well, for me, weather magic is where I pull from the elements. I pull from the winds. I pull energy from the wind. I can raise energy with the rain. It's what works for me. And some people say, oh, that's crazy, that's cuckoo. And it works. It works for me. And that's all that matters, is what works for you. As long as you're happy, as long as you know in your heart what you're doing is right, hey, not a problem. No, if you're out there, if you want to, I believe there is dark magic, there is light magic, there is gray magic, and everything in between. If you want to worship the dark goddess, more power to you. I have no problem with that. When I need the dark goddess, you best believe I do call on it. Because that's just me. If I need light, I call on that too. Because they both dwell within this universe. There's not all good and there's not all bad. You can call whatever is given to you within this universe to call upon. And that's what is so great about magic. I don't knock people for, if they want to use their magic because they want to hex somebody or curse somebody or do something. Hey, you know what? Just know that vibration comes right back. Bounces just like off a wall. But, I don't knock anybody. I let people feel free and comfortable to do what they choose to do. And with that being said, on this channel, on the Returning Thunder channel, I don't mind people agreeing to disagree. I have no problem with that. But if you want to argue with me back and forth, tit for tat, that's not going to happen. That's not what I do. This is my channel. So, I love you guys. If you have any questions, I'll try and find out the answers for you or help you get to the answer. If I have any questions, maybe you can help me find some answers. But, we're here to help each other and reverberate off each other so that, we can learn and grow in this process together. So with that, I'm going to say thank you for tuning in.